Survival. Survival is a concept medical science uses for potentially deadly diseases such as cancer. As an example, it is said that there's 10% chance of survival after 5 years for a given type of cancer. Survival is a strange concept which may keep people stuck in fear by a given diagnosis and in fear of fully living. The concept survival raises some questions, such as how may a specific person use statistical information about other people than themselves? Has a person survived for 2 years after receiving an incurable cancer diagnosis, or has the person lived for 2 years with a seemingly incurable disease? What are we in fact going to survive to after all? We are all on a journey on living and dying. No one really knows whether we will survive until tomorrow or die for a reason other than the one we may be conditioned to believe. The cells in our body are continuously renewed. There is a constant turnover also towards spontaneous healing. Survival is a vague concept, and to receive a message about expected death can keep a person stuck in the fear of dying. This fear can also lead to focusing more on the risk of developing diseases rather than living life here and now. No one knows when a life ends, so these percentages are based solely on theory. It is a great help to be present and relate to the situation here and now, rather than succumb to the fear of what might happen. Also, it is liberating to see life in a larger perspective, in the sense that everything is happening for us to become more aware of something. Life is not punishing us, it's teaching us, and suffering is a part of this teaching. What are we going to survive for after all? Is it tomorrow with all its unpredictability, or do we believe in an eternal life? Death becomes less important if we believe in an eternal life beyond the physical form. It is a relief to realize that we are more than our physical body and to see ourselves as a part of something greater that reaches beyond our physical death. What we choose to believe in has a great impact on our way of living. Perhaps there are some common features about humans who live in greater well-being, such as focusing on possibilities rather than on survival and death. The very word survival points away from living right now, that which usually brings the greatest joy. Think of a child's way of being in life without being limited by the worries of the adults. Naturally, that is a tipping point in every life experience. However, focusing primarily on what might happen instead of what is may bring unnecessary anxiety and emotional turmoil, which are influencing healing and well-being. We are all on the same path in life, the one that ends with physical death. No one can really tell when a human life is going to end and how the best way is to spend our time between birth and death. Every minute may count, especially when we are told that our life is hanging in a thin thread. When we are closest to death, it is more about living than surviving. At the end of each day, we could give thanks from the bottom of our hearts for the good this day has brought. There's always something to be grateful for. Gratitude brings abundance of the same. As a doctor, I experienced that there is a great authority behind my words, and that my words may turn into predictions, especially if the patient has laid his or her trust in me. Basically, I don't know how the condition of the patient in front of me may unfold. I can only relate to the present situation. I have heard patients saying, "The doctor says there's nothing more to do, so there is no reason to give it a try." A more correct statement by the doctor would be, "I don't know how to help you right now. You may eventually seek someone else or live in peace with the condition as it is right now, knowing that no one knows how it will turn out to be in the future." This could be stated for any condition, since the body has an immense capacity to heal by itself, and all conditions are changing every minute. We are just not aware of it. Giving a prognosis on a condition may result in a feeling of powerlessness, which has a negative impact on healing. It may in fact be a projection of the doctor's own feeling of powerlessness. Furthermore, a given treatment is just supporting the healing. It is the body that knows the way. There are so many different and often unknown factors that are involved in healing, and we tend to focus on one or two. Anyway, it may bring relief to receive a diagnosis, as it may give an understanding for the actual condition. In fact, it may be the acknowledgement of that someone is listening and understand when we feel uneasy and sick. The diagnosis in itself does not necessarily bring a solution. A medical prescription often follows the diagnosis, which may relieve the symptoms for a while. It rarely cures the person, since there are many other factors involved in developing a disease and in healing. Some patients stop taking the medication due to side effects. Others continue, despite the fact that the medication has no or less effect. Often they dare not to stop the treatment because they imagine the condition worsens. Also, they may not know of the other options. It is natural to seek help when you feel discomfort you cannot handle yourself. Applying standard treatments based on statistical calculations is insufficient when it comes to personal well-being. Many patients believe that the answer is in other people's life experiences, and by this they remove focus from themselves, where the answer lies. Others do not trust that they know the answer themselves. They need support in directing their attention inward. Then they discover how they feel and what they need. Fortunately, many people have already recognized that life, including the life of the body, is constantly changing, and that healing is about more than just treating the physical symptom. Many people believe in certainty, or just something to cling to. However, an increasing number of people have realized that there are no guarantees according to life. In any case, it is a great relief to accept the changing conditions we may find ourselves in from time to time. If we deny it or try to push it away, the energy stagnates or pops up somewhere else in the body. Acceptance is an important part of healing. Afterwards, if still needed, we may relieve ourselves in one way or another, or live on with whatever is present. Survival as a human race is about finding the strength in our differences and the love for our weaknesses, and acknowledging the wisdom of aging. Also reminding each other that we are valuable just by being born, also if we do not match others' value.